guys. I am wondering if you can see me now, or if you can hear me now. Automatic translation, community moderation. You're live. Okay, but I don't know if you can hear me. Look, and it's too close. I can't see it. That's funny. Well, all I can do is hope. That's what I've been all day. They said earlier that you couldn't hear me. So I just wanted to share. As you may know, I've been doing delivery, and today has been a challenging day for doing that. It all started, just kidding. I can't even think about the first example, but the one that made me turn on the live was with a lady who I was picking up ice cream for. And she was clearly very excited about her ice cream. I was that person who would order food for delivery, and I was that person who would wonder, why does it take longer than I would think that it would take, and why would it be so difficult to find my place when, you know, our buildings are clearly marked of what our address is. And so when people would be running late, or when people will say that the food is there when it's not even there yet, because you open your door and it's not there, and you're like, well, where is it? And then they end up showing up maybe a couple of minutes later. Well, now I totally get it why they're doing that. Earlier today, when I was doing a delivery, I did a drop off, and then I got in my car and I started driving away. And the app wanted me to prove myself that I was who I was. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And the thing that's so bad about that is if you don't take your selfie to prove you are who you are in time, then can you hear me now, you guys? Because now I can read what you're saying, even though I can't. Oh, perfect. Okay. So please have patience and forgiveness for your delivery drivers. Because going back to what I was saying, I was driving and they wanted me to prove who I was. And you have to take a selfie with your phone. And like literally, you have to take a selfie with your phone, right? And I'm driving. And so I'm trying to multitask because I know if I don't take the selfie fast enough, they're going to say that I was sharing my account with someone else, and you can get booted off the app for that, from what I understand. I see it all the time. So I'm hurrying up trying to take a selfie, and then it says, no, you can't take the selfie now. You've got to pull over. Well, that makes perfect sense because, I mean, how are you supposed to take a selfie while you're driving, right? So I have to pull over, and God forbid there be anyone behind me, and then you have to put your hazards on, and then you have to pose the camera so that it's a perfect, you know, you got to get in the circle. It's quite comical because they really do ask a lot from you, and they don't want you to text, and they don't want you to take selfies while you're driving. I understand, but then they throw it in your face that if you don't do it fast enough, then you're obviously sharing your account with someone else. And I've mentioned before, I don't even know why people would share an account with people. I don't even understand that whole process and why that would even happen. So that was one thing. And then the other thing was the lady. Oh, and another thing, caveat, please, if you're ordering food, make sure you have an address on your house or on the curb or somewhere where someone can see it, not behind a bush. Please make sure it's lit up so we can see it, because we want to get there on time. But if it's a scavenger hunt, we're not going to be able to find you. So please, please, make sure we can find your place. There was one girl and she sent a photo. And she sent me the photo. Mind you, this is a photo in the daytime. And I'm doing a delivery at the nighttime. And I'm looking at this photo and I'm looking at the neighborhood and all the houses are dark. I can't see any of the addresses. I've already trespassed on 3 or 4 different properties trying to look for the house and for an address for that matter. And I'm looking at this photo and I'm thinking, I feel like I'm on a dating app. And you're like, is this a current photo? Because I can't find it. Hi, Josh. Hi, Mohammed. Hi, Leroy. Hi, Patrick. Hi, Tate. It's nice to see you all you guys here. Thanks for being here. So, literally, I'm laughing to myself. Is this a current photo? So finally, she has to come out of her house because she's not even a full address. She's at an address and a half, if that makes any sense. So she comes out of the house and she's messaging me, and the message is yelling loud and clear, just like you guys heard on this. And I'm like, I see you, I can hear you, and I try to make light and I try to be funny about it. This lady today wanted her ice cream. And mind you, this was a complex that has a huge main gate with 2 guards at it, right? So I drive up to the guard station, and my app told me to make a turn prior to the guard station. And I told the guard, I said, I apologize. My app told me to make a turn back there. I think I'm at the wrong turn. So he's like, oh, no problem. You could just make a U-turn. So I make a U-turn. I follow the directions on the app, and it sends me to the back of the buildings where there's nothing but gates. You cannot get in. So she's already texted me, where are you? So I let her know what happened. I went to the guard gate. I thought I was at the wrong place, so I followed the app, and the app told me the wrong place, so I'm making a U and I'm on my way. Well, if you have any difficulties getting in, please let me know. Thank you. Mind you, do you want me to text or do you want me just to get there? And I'm trying to accommodate both. So I have to stop and text, and then I can go ahead and proceed. So I turn back around and I go to the guard and I explain the situation, and he goes, okay, you need a key to get in. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm thinking to myself, well, give me the key. He says, well, I need your ID. You have to leave it here with me. And I'm thinking, oh, great, really? Because I can't even remember to get my credit card back from the drive-through lane because I want to eat my food. So I'm having a reminder myself. I'm kind of kidding on that. So I get the fob. He says you can either do a fob or a code, and I said I'll take the fob. I get the fob. I venture into the garage. I park the car. I get out. I find the elevator. I'm like, yes. I text her. I'm in the elevator. She's like, are you okay? I told you if you needed help to let me know. And I said, well, how do you say that in a way that's not rude? It's like, you mentioned if I needed help getting in to let you know. So that's what I did. I kept her updated on where I was and what I was doing. And then I get up to the 5th floor and I look around at the addresses, and it is the wrong building. And I'm thinking, this is whack. This is whack, folks. So I'm looking out the window and I'm seeing all these other buildings around, and I asked her, are you on the right side of the guard station or are you on the left side of the guard station? She says, no, you're in the wrong building. And I'm thinking to myself, clearly I'm in the wrong building because your address starts with a different number. I didn't say that to her, but you could tell she really wanted her ice cream, folks. And I understand. She really did. So I went ahead and went down the elevator, and I come back out to the garage, and I'm seeing nothing but gates that you drive through. And I'm thinking, well, how am I supposed to get to the other side? Because with gas being like $6.50 a gallon where I'm at, I don't want to get in my car and start it again and go through the gate and try to find I'm not driving around and wasting my gas. I am so sorry. I know you've got ice cream. I've got it in an insulator. Your ice cream's going to be fine. And I know your ice cream is expensive, but your ice cream's going to be fine. I have faith in myself. I'll be able to locate. The elevator I need is completely on the other side of the building, and there's a huge driving gate, as I mentioned, right? Yes, I love pineapple on pizza. I don't know what that is. A little pop-up came on. So I have the fob, I go through, I find a door, and I go through the door, and then you have to make a turn, and then you make another left. It's like a scavenger hunt, you guys. I don't know if anyone else has ever done delivery, but if you have, please. It is not the easiest job in the world, and I really thought it was so easy, and I think this is funny because I've been doing it, since the end of last year, and there's always a puzzle, and it's always fun because it's a scavenger hunt and you have no idea what kind of little tricks you're going to have to try to figure out. While I'm going there, she goes, "What is wrong? It is easy." And I'm thinking, no, it's not easy. Do you remember going to college or high school and you had a huge campus you had to learn, and there was totally all these different buildings? You had to find your locker, then you had to memorize what your schedule was. It's a lot to do. I'm the kind of person, I write everything down, so that way if I write it down, I check it off, it's done. I look at the next item, and then I can go ahead and go down my list. Right? That's the way I do things. So I'm laughing to myself the whole time because I'm like, this girl really wants her ice cream. And so I finally get to her building. I finally get there, and it's a meet at the door, and I knock on the door, and I'm thinking, here we are face to face. And she gives me this look. And I said, "You really wanted your ice cream, huh?" And she laughed. And she said, "God bless you." I said, "I totally understand." I totally get it. But it was hilarious. So it just goes to show you just don't know what's on the other side. I could have, if I would have handled that totally, like, just if I would have been offended by what she was saying or how she was acting or the way that she was coming across and saying it's so easy, why don't you understand? Well, you know what? It's not easy for everybody, and I understand that. Another example, I was given a code in order to get into the building, and they've got a keypad, and they've got a big screen with 4 different options of delivery, guest, PIN, and then there was one other one. I tried every single option, and this guy was getting short with me, texting me, "Oh, you're on the wrong side of the garage." Well, if I could send you a photo, I can show you exactly where I'm at. I can show you exactly what I'm looking at. The address matches your address. And I saw the keypad there. I said, you know what? I'm just going to try the code in the keypad. And sure enough, it worked. Not the big fancy monitor that they want you to use. So I went ahead and entered it. I said, "I'm in your building." And he looked at me. And he gave me this look like, "You're just an idiot." And I said, you know what? It's just in the air today. In my mind, I'm thinking everyone's so impatient today, and I understand. It shouldn't be this hard, but people, remember, if it's not your building and it's not your neighborhood, people who are new to that building and new to that neighborhood, they're not going to get it as fast as you want them to. So that's it. I just want to make sure that everyone realizes that they need to be a delivery person, and they need to be a waitress or a waiter, and they need to work retail. Everybody should have to do it. It's a great experience. I love it. I enjoy what I'm doing because it's fun, for the most part, trying to figure out the rat mazes. One more thing. There are certain complexes where you can't even get into the complex unless you know that you have to get the code in order to go to the second floor. And once you're at the second floor, then you can get to all of the buildings. But if you don't know that and you're new to that complex, you have no clue that you have to get into that second floor before you can go anywhere. Otherwise, you're confused. And I know it sounds very basic when I talk about it, but it's like there's just a certain mutual understanding between delivery people now. It's stressful. We're on a time clock. I personally want to get your food to you hot because that's where I would want to have it. And if it's supposed to be cold, I want to give it to you cold. I treat other people the way I want to be treated. I do my best. And mad respect. Mad respect. especially with gas being $6.50 a gallon. With that being said, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And I hope you make it a great day. Take care. Bye. I hit the wrong key.